I got my containers delivered a year ago and started building my container house alone and off-grid. Welcome to my house. And I just got done finishing the final structural components of my roof, like fascias, barge capping, and gutters. And now it's time to finally start on the interior build out during the winter months. And the first job on the list is window installation. But this is a budget build with a tiny budget of only 100,000 Australian dollars. That means I had to buy secondhand windows and restore them myself. This is a dusty and delicate job, and the glass will be getting swapped out for double glazed. But I was originally quoted 77,000 Australian dollars for windows brand new, and these were only 3,000. So the extra work is definitely worth it, and not to mention they are 10 times prettier than UPVC. I found paint stripper to be the grossest shit on the planet, so I'm using a residue sanding disc to remove the majority of the paint, and then sanders and a Dremel to smooth everything out. I do have a little problem though. I can't start cutting into the containers to install the windows until I work out where I can store all my tools and materials that I've got in there. But if you stick around to the end, I think I found the perfect solution. It's a busy week, so let's get into it. Fun fact, Jarrah windows can last 50 to 100 years and then another 50 to 100 years if you restore them and do a good job and take care of them. Right, this one is all finished. I just need to do the bits that came out of it, and that's all the residue sanding done for this window. Then I'm going to pull out another one and start on another one. Hopefully get 2 done with the residue sanding disc today. I'm definitely going to have to repair this one quite a lot. Like, I don't even know if these pieces are going to be good enough to go back on. It looks like this one was in an outdoor place, and it looks like the seal was just getting wet all the time. So I'm guessing there was like no roof covering it or anything, because the seal is very, very damaged. That window is so close to being done. I literally just have that little L-shaped bit of wood to do. But the grinder's out of power and it's charging. It's gonna take a while. So I'm gonna pull another one out now and start taking off all the hardware. Oh. Okay, so I've got all the hardware off, but this is, what are they called? Bloody hell, I forgot what it's called. Lock something. So Lockwood, they have these like weird little screws that are not normal, and they've got this little bit in the middle. So I'm gonna have to get a special bit to take that off. They're on a couple more of the other windows as well, so that sucks. I can't take this out for now or this. But I'm gonna start sanding. Getting a beautiful little bit of afternoon sun though. Right, I'm gonna call it a day. The week is halfway over and I've only had 8 hours sleep over 3 nights. I am so exhausted. Because I didn't get to see Mum for Mother's Day, I decided to do a weekend trip to where she lives, and I spent the weekend with her, went out to lunch, all that kind of fun stuff. But then I also had to attend a specialist appointment for Django at the start of the week in a completely different area. So I had to travel to that area too and take Django to that appointment. So over like 3 days, I was getting up at ridiculous hours, like 2:30 or 4:30 or something in the morning. And yeah, just having very little sleep. So I am exhausted. If you've been with me for a while, you know that Django was diagnosed with hip dysplasia at 1, and then last year she was told she never had hip dysplasia. I've been told it's been the knees, the toes, the ankles, yeah, everything basically. And then I was told she had nothing. So I was like, well, what? And she was still limping and everything. And I was like, well, can we check her forearms because she's still got a limp, there's still something wrong. And so they did x-rays and then they thought it might be her elbows and that she had elbow dysplasia. And I was like, what does she have? And so, yeah, we went to a specialist again. The specialist said nothing wrong. They said there is like a little bit of, what's it called, like RSI or RSL that humans get. There's a little bit of like that kind of showing, like wear in her wrists, probably from jumping down onto them. Just be careful of that and making sure she gets consistent exercise so it doesn't put any more strain, making sure that she's not doing like lots of stop starting, you know, like when they play and try and grab a stick and all that kind of stuff. And then apparently she's meant to be okay, but then I was like, well, why does she still not want to like outstretch her right leg? She doesn't like stretching it. There seems to be something in the hip. And then she felt, she was like, yeah, she does seem to be quite sore in the hip area. And she was like, I'll look at the old CT. And then she basically explained hip dysplasia to me and how they diagnose it. And so basically if 50% of that bone is in the joint, then you don't have hip dysplasia, but if it's more than 50% out of the joint, then you do. And she is very, very close to it being more than 50% out of the joint. So she's kind of like just on the 50% line, the specialist said. So that's why she wasn't diagnosed with hip dysplasia, but she said she is kind of close. So that's maybe why she does have pain and all that kind of stuff. So that was nice to know because, like, it's good to know that, yeah, she is getting pain in there and now I can keep treating it how I am because she also said that. She said if she's had this for so long as she would have and it hasn't got worse, you must be doing something right, so keep doing what you're doing. Speaking of consistency, I am going to go take Django for a little walk around and everything now. We usually do about an hour, hour and a half every day, so I need to make sure I keep that consistent so she's doing the same amount of exercise per day. Apparently that puts less strain on the body and it's just better. I'm going to do that and make sure I stick to it every day. And let's pack her up. I still get loads of questions asking how I'm able to power my entire homestead, so let's run through it. I'm completely off-grid here, so I'm not connected to mains electrical or to water, and that means I rely on power stations and solar panels to charge them. My caravan is fitted with 3 solar panels on the roof to charge my batteries and power the caravan. And for the build, I have a variety of solar panels that I keep laying around and stored in different areas to charge up my power stations. Like the EcoFlow Delta Pro 3. This is one of EcoFlow's newest models, and you can honestly energize almost anything with this guy. It's 230 volt with a 4,000 watt output and a 4K WH capacity. And the most impressive part, it's got a 10 ms UPS, which makes it the ultimate home battery backup. Let me explain why. A UPS is an uninterrupted power supply, and the Delta Pro 3's transfer time is 10 milliseconds, which is the time it takes to get back online when a power outage or voltage drop occurs, and transfer time matters for sensitive electronics. The Delta Pro 3 really is an essential tool for off-grid living. Even with how much power the Delta Pro 3 packs, it's still silent as a whisper at 30 dB under a 2,000 watt load with X-cooling exclusive technology, which is really important to me working in the containers because, as you can probably tell, it's quite loud and echoey in there. The Delta Pro 3 works as an emergency power source. In Australia, where extreme weather events are common, it can serve as a reliable home backup solution and an essential tool for off-grid living. The EcoFlow Delta Pro 3 also features plug-and-play setup. It's got one-click startup with remote control capability, so it's incredibly efficient and easy to use. And you can control it all effortlessly with all-in-one command in the EcoFlow app. So you can monitor in real time, optimize consumption, and if it's for your home backup, even save on bills. The app turns into a remote control and you can easily customize options to suit your needs for power. I'm thinking this may be the perfect power station to power and run my shed when I get one set up, and maybe with some solar panels set up on the roof. What do you reckon? If you want to get the EcoFlow Delta Pro 3 at a very nice price, EcoFlow are actually having an end of financial year sale at the moment. So now would be the time to grab one. Here's the QR code and there's a link below in my description. Today is milling day, and isn't it the perfect day for it? It is technically winter, but I've still got autumn weather, so I'm going to make the most of it and try get as many logs milled before the rain hits, and it's raining every day here. That means today is a headphones in, head down and bum up kind of day as I work through it all. Got up early this morning because I knew it was going to be a gorgeous day, and I got started on the milling process, so I already have some slabs done. Let's do it. Gonna be my favorite new toy for a long time.
So easy and fun to use.
Let's start her up. Log number 6 today. Oh, that's a lot of slabs. It's been a really good day. I'm gonna clear the area instead and chop up all that wood and pop it in the trailer and the quad and take it to the firewood shelter so that they're not tripping hazards, but also so I can get them out of the way of all the rest of the logs that I need to roll out. But that pile is definitely getting smaller and getting smaller way faster than before, which is, yeah, I'm stoked. I'm very stoked. And yeah, the wood's coming out really good. That blade is just insane, like the way that it cuts. It's incredible. It's definitely causing less damage than trying to get the chainsaw mill through it and then things splitting because this wood is already very split. Oh my gosh, I still have to show you guys a little puffer. Love you. Love you. Gonna go stack all these slabs, pop them away, definitely running out of space for that, but I have a solution which I am going to show you tomorrow. Finally time to show you my new purchase, and I've been so excited to show you. In all honesty, it is a bit of a marketplace fail, but it's still going to change my life, so it's still a good thing, but it's like 10 times more work than I thought it was going to be, which kind of sucks. But I officially have a shed. It comes with windows and like connections for electricity and PowerPoints and all that kind of stuff. It was unfortunately just a little bit of a bummer. So basically the story is I've needed a shed since I got here. Like I needed a shed before these containers got here and it just wasn't possible. I went instead with buying another container because it was so cheap, and I thought I can use that for storage and then I can use it again later once the house is built to build a pool out of. And because I used that money on the storage container, I really didn't have any money left for a shed. So I've been looking for one like on Marketplace for a very cheap price for ages, and I have just not been able to find one. So I decided to start planning it, and you would have seen me in Bali. I was planning building the shed. So I was literally getting done with the plans and realizing how tough it was, and if I couldn't find these materials cheap, then it was going to cost so much. And what popped up on Marketplace? A shed. Now, it was I thought very good value for money because it was 2,000 Australian dollars, which isn't too much for a shed. And it was about 8 by 8 meters. So I was like, well, that's pretty much the size I wanted it. They said it was in great condition. They included a bunch of photos, and none of these photos showed the amount of rust. I was also worried about timing and I was really busy. I couldn't go pick it up. So my friend offered to go pick it up for me. Because the ad said it was in good condition and there was no photos of rust or anything, I didn't even think to mention to check it for that type of stuff. So I didn't say anything, and they just assumed that I knew what it was like, because I mean, I do get rusty things. Hello, my container house. And so they just thought this is what I wanted, and yeah, because I wasn't there was nothing I could really do. So when it arrived here, I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is in shocking condition. Some of it's so bad that it will have to be replaced. I'll just have to get in there and have a look at everything and see exactly what needs to be done, because it's a lot. It's a lot. But look, let me show you. Like, look at some of this shit. That is shocking, that rust. That is really, really, really shocking. And there is quite a lot like that. Like, look here. That is gone. Gone. And there's ones like this that are like that too. So obviously water was not draining well, and none of this metal has been protected. And yeah, so it's going to be a job. It's going to be a job. But lucky I love hard work. Like, literally love it. I don't know why. The harder the better for me. I get more motivated the harder a job is. New project. Rust, 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 rust. I have finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these long steel beams. They're like 8 meters or something like that. So I've done 2 of the sides because I've sprayed them with rust converter, so I didn't want to flip it and have one side like be drying on the concrete. So I've just done 2 of the sides, and now I'm going to start on this one over here. If there's one thing I do know now, it is rust, and I'm just going to show you the things that I use to get rid of rust and treat it. What you're definitely going to need is a mask and some kind of shield or goggles or something like that for safety. But then you're also going to want a grinder, and these are the different types of discs and wheels I use. So there you've got a cut brush, and then you've got a hybrid ceramic grinding disc, and then you've got a ceramic flat disc, and then you've got like a flat brush, and then you've got a residue sanding disc. So I love the residue sanding disc and the hybrid ceramic grinding disc. They're my 2 favorites. So you'll hit all the metal with that. And then after you've got rid of it all, you can hit it with this, which is rust converter. And when that's all dry, just spray it with some rust protection. And that's a wrap for today. As the sun goes down, I finished 2 sides of all these posts, and then I made a start on this one here too. This one's pretty badly rusted at the bottom, but the rest of it looks okay. And that's kind of the case for a lot of them.